If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? Your faded words I would choke.
Happy Monday to everyone in the sports universe. It is August the 15th, 2022. This is the AM Drive on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Good morning. For Aaron Crouch, I am Michael Carbillas asking Aaron, have you heard Forever's Enough by Broken Love? It's the new song.
You know, I have heard it, and I will say that it gets me amped up in the morning. I do love it. It's just a it's a good track, and I'm happy that the guys over at Broken Love would let us use it. I mean, no publicity is bad publicity, but it's very kind of them. And yeah, I mean, it goes with the flow of the introduction, and it definitely is better than the one we had before. I can tell you that.
Ooh.
One we had before felt like a symphony about ready to fire up.
Yeah. I want to go like a dramatic news thing, and then I didn't realize how bad it was going to turn out.
That's okay. Hey, we realize the error of our ways, and we correct them.
The show has evolved. It's been a year. Our show is brought to you by our YouTube. Search AM Drive with Mike and Aaron. Now, for those of you wondering why is it brought to you by our YouTube and by our shop, as always, well, that's okay because we're having technical difficulties with the shop. I don't know what's going on with it. It is not letting me click on it. It's not letting me do anything. So we tried to pay our subscriptions, and it's just being stupid right now. So if you try to click on the shop and it's not there, it is there, but I've been in contact with Carlos from Teespring, so bear with us there.
Come on, Carlos. You got to be better than that. Let's go.
Darn you, Carlos.
Freaking okay. Carlos.
Aaron, how was your weekend, first of all?
My weekend was great. Family was in town until Saturday, and we had a couple of cookouts with my in-laws and my parents, and it's always good to get the families together.
All right.
Listen to me, we sound like the mob, but it's good to get the family together. And my family left Saturday, and unfortunately, I'm on the back side of, or the middle side, I guess, of a little sickness myself right now. So Sunday wasn't so great, but today is my 35th year around the sun. So I'm looking forward to having
a 35th birthday.
Today is my 35th birthday, and I'm looking forward to having a nice dinner with my wife this evening. We're going to go down and visit one of the elegant Las Vegas restaurants that are being offered. We don't know quite yet. We're torn between two, so maybe I'll put up a poll on AM Drive on where we should go to dinner tonight.
Full disclosure, I had no idea you turned 35 today. That was a nice little nugget.
No worries. I don't traditionally advertise my birthday, but I know that Facebook will tell everyone here in about 10 minutes or so.
There you go. Aaron, as great as that is, what is your worst of the weekend?
All right, my worst of the weekend, getting right into it. First of all, I wanted to let you know one of my best, not my best of the weekend, rocking the red mug today.
Yes!
Rocking the red mug. I know that our shop's not quite open currently, thanks Carlos, but I wish there was a red handle on it, but it is a cool red mug. The black mug is getting cleaned right now, and of course we've got the tumbler as well, so when all that is back up and running, make sure that you grab that stuff. My worst of the weekend, surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, didn't make a ton of national news. During the invasion of privacy trial for the Kobe Bryant death and crash, obviously Vanessa Bryant has been a wreck. No pun intended. That's actually a bad word. Vanessa, yeah, that's not the right word, but you kind of know what I'm saying, and I don't want to be offensive. But there have been cell phone photos taken by people who were first to the scene that have been shared inappropriately, meaning they have no purpose for the investigation or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So my worst of the weekend is these people. If this is true, and again, this is all allegations at the moment, but if this is true, you are a professional hired to do a job. I understand because of who it is, we want to get the first out or be able to make some money. And that's just disgusting. If this ends up being true, that people who are hired to do these jobs are becoming basically paparazzi. And I have a problem with that. If it's fire department, police, whoever's on the scene at that time. And just to see this over the weekend, this trial could get uglier and uglier. And it feels like we just cannot let the dead rest in peace. And it sucks to hear. And it's a really awful story. Again, if this turns out to be true, this is really awful by some people that our city hires to be professional and protect situations like this. So I'm a little sick to my stomach to know that this has happened again, allegedly, but that this has been testified that has to have happened. People taking, unnecessary cell phone pictures of the Kobe Bryant of the Kobe Bryant wreckage. And it's unacceptable.
I feel like I'm like in a time machine because I swore I've heard the story before, but apparently the trial is happening now. Like, that part is not news, but I guess they're finally invested, like, putting it on trial, which is good to hear. But yeah, that was sick when I first heard it. It's even sicker now I think about it.
Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing about it. So for me, this is a bad one. Yeah, this is a bad one for me. So
there you go. Was it in Vegas? Like, where was that at? You said our city.
Did I say our city?
Yeah, those would be like I was like Las Vegas.
No, that
you mean like in general our city hires.
No, like that. Yeah, that our city is higher. Like Los Angeles or this didn't happen. This happened. Did the crash happen in Los Angeles? I think it happened in like Calabasas. Yeah. So I understand site photography and taking pictures of the wreckage and taking pictures for obviously the case. No, but even I can understand if you were taking them on your cell phone. Because my iPhone does a pretty good job of taking pictures, probably better than, some other cameras. But yeah, for this to be shared, impermissibly and allegedly viewed, quote unquote, for a laugh, which is what was testified to, the attorney. This is bad. This is bad look. I don't know where I said our city, but I meant like our city officials.
Right.
Maybe that's what I meant. But yeah, the fact that this is like still very raw, especially to the Bryant family. I mean, not only is it Kobe Bryant, but her, I believe, firstborn daughter. Because Gigi was the oldest, correct?
Yes.
So yeah, not only her husband, her firstborn daughter, and time never heals these kinds of wounds. As much as you can try to say that, but it's just such an ugly situation. Again. I say this again, allegedly, if this turns out to be true that they were being shared impermissibly, just absolutely disgusting. And people should lose their jobs for that.
Agreed. Jordan Love threw 3 interceptions is my worst of the weekend. I did see that 2 of the 3 were kind of not his fault. But then again, if you put the ball up high and the receiver doesn't come down with it, and it ricochets, Jordan Love did not look good for the Packers. And that's concerning. Like, anybody can run nowadays if you're a quarterback, which Jordan Love did show, but you got to throw, man. And he threw 3 interceptions. And it's not a good look for Packers fans or for Packers organization. If this guy's your savior, if he's the next Aaron Rodgers, the next Brett Favre, didn't like it too much. I was watching a bunch of highlights last night.
Yeah. No, I watched, a lot of these rookie guys. I didn't really think about watching Jordan Love. I think it's becoming more and more evident that Jordan Love's probably not the successor.
Yeah.
But I think based on Aaron Rodgers and the new contract, I don't think they're going to have to worry about Jordan Love too much.
Good point.
I mean, you've looked at all these years where Aaron Rodgers has gone down, and the Packers are done. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is an MVP to his team. He is a valuable piece of the Packers' success for the last 15 to 17 years, give or take. I don't know the exact number, but he isn't going anywhere unless he gets hurt, which is a lost season anyways. I don't think the struggles of Jordan Love are that much of a big deal anymore. So I'm not saying that it's not appropriate that it's a worst of a weekend, but
Right.
I wouldn't sweat it too much as long as Aaron Rodgers is upright.
Fair enough.
They can figure out the next move. Now, in the grand scheme of things, wasting that first round pick is catastrophic, but you can't go back in time.
Ugh. Best of the weekend, Aaron. Give it to me.
All right, my best of the weekend comes from the world of golf. It's Billy Sizzle. Our boy Will Zalatoris finally gets into the winner's circle in the PGA. He's been so close, been knocking on the door. He's been such a great, personality in the PGA. And I know that, if you were here in the Vegas Squares days, we were big Will Zalatoris guys. And even, here in some of the early AM Drive, big Billy Z. To get your first win and to bump up huge in the FedEx Cup standings, I'd like to see Will Zalatoris win the FedEx Cup, but it unfortunately was shadowed by a couple of live golf clouds being put over. There's a lot of talk now that a lot of these guys, including Will Zalatoris, once the FedEx Cup playoffs are over, because it's hard to really turn down $10 million if you have a shot to play for it, that a lot of these guys are going to be jumping ship off once the FedEx Cup playoffs are over. So as a person who's intrigued by live golf, I'm intrigued to see who, if any, jump after the after the FedEx Cup playoffs, or once they're theoretically eliminated from the PGA or from the FedEx Cup playoffs. But it's not to take away from Will Zalatoris. First win, St. Jude, tough track. Congratulations.
Fair enough. My best is also in golf, but it's not just Billy Z. It's John. No kidding. No. John Rahm, Will Zalatoris, Cam Smith, Tony Finau. I love that every last one of those guys were just right there. Even SJ. Well, I call him SJM because that's just I refuse.
Sungjae.
Okay. Sungjae. Okay, you get it. All those guys were right there at the end, and I'm glad that golf had a great weekend. I don't know where the crowd Rory was. I know he got caught. I don't know what he was doing, but everyone else that's good in golf right now was playing out of their minds on what you say is a tough course, and that was cool to see because you didn't know who was going to win. Although I predicted Billy Z to win when I saw he was one stroke back, but even then, there were a lot of names right there. Good job for golf.
Yeah, it was like you're right. Adam Scott was there.
Adam Scott. Yeah,
of course that Adam Scott dominates as well. Morikawa was there. Yeah, I mean you said it. Justin Thomas, Cam Davis, Cam Smith. Cam Smith, by the way, one of the ones who has allegedly signed a $100 million live golf deal. So I don't know if you saw this weekend. Scotty Scheffler walked in Cam Smith's line, maybe to give him a nonverbal kick in the nuts for leaving. And Cam Smith took a little offense to it. He kind of looked at him and, it was kind of one of those golf drama things, but he ultimately, I guess but yeah, the Cam Smith alleged live golf signing is not going so well over with the other PGA guys who are really trying hard to hold on to their integrity right now, but they're interested. I'd love to get Tony back on the show here to talk about. I mean, I want to see when these FedEx Cups or when these guys are mathematically eliminated from the FedEx Cup race. I want to see. I think people are going to go. I really do. I'm curious.
That's pathetic.
Maybe so.
Because now you just got them all. It's just stupid. Whatever. I'm redacting Cam Smith's name from what I just said. Darn it.
Here's a question though, and I don't need an answer right now. I just want you to think about it, and maybe something we can talk to Tony about. I understand that money is the motivation. It drives a lot of us, and I know that a lot of people still have this integrity factor, and they've made tons of money. Like Tiger's not going to live golf. He doesn't need the money. But what does it say about the PGA that it's this easy to potentially fold this league?
I have no comment because I'm furious at golf. I live right now.
And you might have and again, I'm not a live golf supporter. I just really like to straddle the fence. I'm still in love with the PGA. I watched the PGA this weekend.
Did you watch the live?
Did I watch the live? I didn't. There's no live event this weekend. It's not until September. Again, they're playing a little bit more spaced out, and I bet they didn't want to play during the FedEx Cup playoffs because they'd probably get destroyed in the ratings, and then they'll give it'll give golf a reason to keep chirping. I mean, look at golf and look at the media. they're really focused more on live golf than their own product. So, anyways, let's move on.
You ruined this already. No, hey, how about this? More bad news. Fernando Tattoo is what I call him, Fernando Tatis Jr. Apparently did one too many tattoos in the form of needles. He took.
Hey, did you hurt yourself stretching for that joke?
Right. He inadvertently took this drug, and then he said, I should have known. Yeah, you should have, you idiots. You should have known. I'm glad they busted your bum self. I cannot stand these guys. They always walk it back. Sammy texted us saying, oh, saying he admitted it. No, he didn't admit it. He had like, oh, I should have known, but I didn't know, but I'll accept responsibility. Dude, you cheated the game you loved as a kid. Congratulations. That's all we do now to be cool in baseball is shoot up our arms and steal signs. Congratulations, man. Good PED use to you, Tattoo. Your name is redacted. You're just Fernando again. Screw you.
So here's my question. Is he allowed to play in the playoffs? I think he might be.
Rob Manfred was right behind wall out. Who cares?
I think he might be able to play in the playoff. I think we had this situation
That's sad.
with Nelson Cruz. Correct me if I'm wrong. A couple of years back, and I want to say he was allowed to play in the playoffs for the Nationals. So I'm just curious, like how that's going to work. I'm trying to read about it here real quick because I didn't really give this too much thought, other than the fact that, like, yeah, you're an idiot, and here's the problem.
He has suspended 80 games for PEDs. That's all you need to know.
But I think what you need to know is the fact that he can he play in the playoffs? I don't think he can.
How did the Padres lose?
Oh, okay, no, he is not able to play in the playoffs, and those games that they play in the playoffs will affect his suspension. So if they play all the way to the World Series, all those games he played come off the 80-game suspension. So
that's good.
So he's suspended through the last 48 games as of when this article was written, and then however many games they play in the playoffs will also be time. So
they're probably wishing for a bunch of 7-game series.
They probably are. Let's go 7 in all of them.
Right.
Another 28 games knocked off.
But seriously, I cannot stand it, especially when it's a young star. Like, dude, like just, especially, again, like I said, when you say, oh, I inadvertently took this cheating drug from some weird scientist guy, well, yeah, you cheated. Just admit it. You admit that you asked for the drug and admit that you wanted it to be better. I don't want to hear this crap of, oh, somebody gave me this and I should have known. No, you knew. Stop doing that. These guys are sickening, man. They wonder why nobody watches baseball like they used to. Huh, I wonder why.
Well, the problem I have, too, with this is the fact that, like, you look at all these different, technologies coming out and supplements coming out, and, like, a majority of them are not admissible under, for these different sports. And it's like, whatever happened to the days of just, taking your regular vitamins and minerals and just lifting, like.
That's my point.
What are all these guys trying to accomplish by taking these supplements when 50% of them or more are banned? Like, you can't say you didn't know, like, and especially keeping a team around you, it doesn't take much for somebody to slip something in your drink, or your protein shake.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good on the MLB for getting this taken care of, but you're right, it's bad because he was another guy who really.
You were high on him.
Well, I was high on him for sure, but the question is now he's now into the second year of a 14-year contract. He's never going to live this down as long as he's in the MLB. Look what happened to Ryan Braun, one of the most prolific power hitters of like the 2000s. He got busted and he was never the same again. Like, it really sucks to see that these people they're not great baseball players unless they cheat the game. And we've had this in the 90s and 2000s. And it's a catch-22 because in the 90s and 2000s, it saved baseball. But now we have a problem with it to the point where we, want to crucify and vilify these guys. And it's like, I don't know. It's steroids has always been kind of a funny thing in baseball because, like I said, without the 98 home run chase, there's possibilities that we're not even watching baseball anymore. And like I said, a lot of people don't. But the fact of the matter is it still exists. It's still one of the most, prolifically rich sports in the Big Four. And there's people still trying to get an advantage. Let's call it, for lack of a better word.
Aaron Judge is on them too, just to let you guys know.
Maybe so.
I'm just letting people know. When we come back, we're going to talk some NFL. We're going to have a debate about Zach Wilson, if it's a debate at all, because he got injured in the preseason. Yeah. Also, 3 words or less for NFC West quarterbacks, and still to come are rookie quarterback grades. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah, you want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
All right, and welcome back here to the AM Drive on this Monday morning, and we are presented by Fanatics. It's very simple. You go to mikeandaarondrive.com, which is right here, and when you get there, you'll see a token, or what do you call it, an icon that looks just like this. What do you do with that icon there, Mike?
Gotta click it.
When you click it, it takes you into the Fanatics shop where you can basically have the entire sports world at your disposal in terms of memorabilia, autographs, apparel, and more. Every player, every team, every league. Daily deals like the one they have today. Free shipping on all orders of $24 or more, which again, in today's world, it doesn't take much to get to $24. But I will tell you what, Mike, my thing, I'm a big proponent of I'll spend more money on your merchandise rather than paying shipping. Are you like that?
Yes, because shipping is just horrible.
Yeah, it's something about it. I don't know, if you're telling me it's okay, I'll buy this hoodie for $30, but then I'm going to pay $7 in shipping, but if I spend 12 more, I get free shipping. I'm spending the 12 bucks. Spend the 7 and the hoodie's 37. It's something about it. I don't think I'm alone in that. So, I'm all about the free shipping, and today you can get free shipping on any deal or on any order $24 or more. But once again, you have to go to mikeandaarondrive.com and click that Fanatics logo. And when you do that, it helps out the channel and the show tremendously. And for that, we thank you.
Yes. Let's have another debate here. I'm not sure what side of the fence you are on in this one. I can assume that I know, but Zach Wilson was injured in preseason. And even Jalen Hurts took a late hit that Nick Sirianni took exception to against the 49ers. And he could have gotten injured on a play as well. But it's against the Jets, not against the 49ers. It was in the same game. But Zach Wilson suffered a bone bruise and a slightly torn meniscus in his right knee, which will require surgery. And until they go in, they don't know if it's going to be more of the 4-week span or more of the 2 weeks. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, as someone who's had a similar surgery and a similar injury, it's gonna be about a good 4 weeks, and he might be able to, even when he plays, he's not gonna be fully healthy until about 6 weeks. So I would say 4 weeks is probably the thing here. But my big debate about this is, should second-year quarterbacks, or even any quarterback for that matter, play in preseason? Now, my take on it is this. The NFL preseason should be 2 weeks. We have found out, and I've heard it a lot this week, like this offseason so far, that those scrimmages they do with other teams are apparently more important, it seems like. I don't know if you've realized that, like those guys the starters play more in those games, and no one even watches them, which is never, I don't understand that. I guess because they don't want the full NFL hitting, but they kind of do at the same time. It's weird. I believe no starters should ever play, unless there's like a Baker versus Darnold thing going on. No starters should play. If they're the starter, why play them?
I mean, it's the classic rest over rust kind of thing. I mean, these guys have been off, even if you're in the Super Bowl, you've been off for 6 months, 6+ months,
Right.
and if you didn't make the playoffs, you've been off for almost 8 months. Yes, like we talked about with Tom Brady. Tom Brady can miss the entire preseason. Aaron Rodgers could miss the entire preseason. But that took 12 to 15 years to really get that kind of, ability or respect factor to do that. I mean, Robert Saleh did say that Joe Flacco should be a starter on a team somewhere. I don't know if he meant it to be his team, but he did make that comment. So we'll get a chance for him to see if he really lives up to those words. But don't forget, they have All-Pro Mike White, if you remember Mike White from last year.
Oh, that was fun.
On the third string, in the third string slot in the depth chart here. I agree with the 2-week thing. I do. And I agree that these inter-squad scrimmages are huge to, basically getting back into this game shape, so to speak. The other question is, if we're going to utilize inter-squad scrimmages, should we start training camp earlier? Should training camp and scrimmages start earlier, where you scrimmage for, what are these 2-week scrimmages, 1-week scrimmages with these guys? I mean, if you're looking maybe starting in the early part of July or even the late part of June, you have a 2-week scrimmage with one team, 2-week scrimmage with the next team. Maybe it's even just geographically, like the Bucs and the Dolphins scrimmage last week before their game. I don't know. It's really, or maybe the preseason games are spread out. If there's 4 of them, maybe they start in July. Hey, you put this team for 2 weeks, then you play them in a preseason game, and then you scrimmage with a team for 2 weeks. That way, if the first preseason game Zach Wilson goes down, and we're talking about a 4-week injury, he's still eligible for the regular season, week 1. And I think it really should go, you play more in the first preseason game and gradually play less leading up to week 1. Versus the way we do it is you play little to none in week 1 and gradually up to week 4. Because say Aaron Rodgers decides to play week 4 of the preseason and twists his ankle and he's out for 3 to 6 weeks, has a high ankle sprain. If that would have happened in week 1 back in July, maybe he misses week 1, maybe he doesn't, but he doesn't miss 6 weeks of the regular season.
Right.
And so I don't know. It's just something really off the top of my head that I thought about yesterday and early this morning, into the fact of, the football is almost a year-round topic of conversation, but it's not a year-round sport. And I understand things will have to happen in the CBA and the NFLPA and blah, blah, this, and it all has to go through the semantics of everything, and people will want to get paid more, blah, blah.
But generally speaking,
if I'm speaking from a Candyland world where all these rules don't exist, maybe the season starts earlier and the playoff or the preseason games are still 4 or maybe even 3, but they're farther spaced out. Something to think about.
I like that. Aside for Zach Wilson, like I said, I've looked at their I was doing a bunch of schedule predictions. I don't have the Jets doing well. This does not help.
Of course not. No, of course not. This
does
does not
not
help.
Score 6 points a game in the first 2 weeks.
And if he was playing in the first preseason game, it means that they're not super confident on what they have in current Zach Wilson right now. Same thing with Daniel Jones. I told you, if you're the projected starter, as you say, and Zach Wilson, there's really no reason he shouldn't be. Why are you out there, based on what the current rules we have, why are you out there the first week? Now, he could get hurt at any week, don't get me wrong, but something clearly is in the Jets organization that they're not super like ready to let the training wheels off of Zach Wilson. I mean, he missed time last year with the same injury, the same knee.
Ooh.
So we'll have to see what's going
That's
on.
a
And
problem.
to say that people, I mean, if a team believes that they need to see more of you, I don't care what preseason game it is, but I ultimately think that a starter shouldn't be there in week 1. But again, you can get hurt in week 4 and it's still a problem. So it's just the kind of game that football is. I mean, if Zach Wilson got hurt in the second preseason, you drop it down to 2 preseason games, he gets hurt in the second one. What's the difference?
I don't know. You ready for our game?
I love this game.
I'm gonna have Sammy Actions pick like words as well here. It's 3 words or less. We start off with the NFC and AFC East. We did the South, and now we're doing the West. And of course, Wednesday and Thursday will be the North, but tomorrow we have to get the AFC West for those of you listening and watching.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get to Trey Lance, and I want to first say Sammy said that Trey Lance is believe in himself. Aaron, what is your 3 words or less for Trey Lance? Stop taking a try.
I'm a little less optimistic about this. You know my feelings on Garoppolo. So my 3 words or less, and I hyphenated one, obviously. Super Bowl or bust. Now, I know that sounds like a healthy weight on his shoulders, but let's take a look at Jimmy Garoppolo's last 2 seasons where he had a fully roster. And again, last year minus the running back situation, but even include that, Super Bowl and NFC Championship. The guy wins football games. If he gets the NFC Championship, Trey Lance, okay, I'll maybe give him some credit
Tom
here.
Brady fan.
But in the best division in football, which is arguable, 100%, has the Super Bowl champion right now. You have been able to navigate that 2 out of the last 3 years. And again, your team fell apart 2 years ago, but the last 2 years that the roster has been, let's call it 85% healthy, they've been to an NFC Championship and to a Super Bowl. And they were 10 minutes away from another Super Bowl. Let's be honest, Jimmy G fumbled that. But it's Super Bowl or bust with this team. If this team stays healthy, there's no reason Trey Lance can't move this team to the NFC Championship or better.
Let's just say I've done some season predictions. I'm not going to unveil them yet, but let's just say agreed. Don't give anything away, Mike. Mine is just like Mahomes. Remember when Alex Smith lost his job because he was good but not like great? He was on a team with a great play caller. He was on a team with a good roster, just never could do it. And then Patrick Mahomes came in and lit up the league.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, to me, has that kind of potential. And what better coach to get it done than a guy like Kyle Shanahan, whose dad was a coach. He's a coach. He's one of the best coaches in the league. Oh, there's a bunch of young guys now. Good Lord. Remember when that was a thing to be under 40 years old as a coach? What? Not that he's not 40, but you get it.
I think he still might be. I mean, Sean McVay is like 34. I think Sean McVay is younger than me. Yeah.
Sean McVay looks sexy, bro. But, just like Mahomes for Trey Lance. Light it up, baby.
Good luck.
All right, let's get a Jimmy lowercase g. Sammy said smile and wave. I love that. Aaron, I'll go first here with mine. One throw. It is still so sad to this day that because Jimmy G missed Emmanuel Sanders, who was wide open running free to the end zone in the Super Bowl, that he's now basically lost his job. I don't know if he makes that one throw and wets down his leg. I don't know if we're having this conversation. I don't even know if Trey Lance is on the team. unless Kyle Shanahan is that in love with this dude. Because he obviously wasn't in love with him to start him last year. So that could be all hogwash and dandelions. I don't even know where that came from, by the way. But I still believe one throw cost him at least his 49ers job. It's kind of sad.
Maybe so, but my Jimmy G 3 words or less actually comes from the NFC Championship game last year. Now, don't get me wrong, he definitely did his part on allowing the Rams to come back. But my 3 words or less, now I hyphenated one.
Of course.
Jaquiski motherfucking Tart.
You're a horrible thing, man.
Jaquiski MF Tart. Now, if he secures that interception, San Francisco's in the Super Bowl. And what if San Francisco wins the Super Bowl against Cincinnati? San Francisco beat Cincinnati earlier in the year. Anything's possible. I know that, Cincinnati gave the Rams all they could handle. But Jimmy G you're right, with that throw and the Jaquiski Tart dropped interception, Jimmy G might be a 2-time Super Bowl champion as a starter. Like, it's insane how the NFL is just, your career just flips on the smallest, plays. But, they're big plays. But you know what I mean? Okay, so take away one of Brady's 7-6. 6 and 9 trips. Anyways, my point being is that, Jaquiski MF Tart. Can you get rid of a guy who got your team to 2 Super Bowls? Can you get rid of a guy like that? I just don't see it. Like, I understand you traded up for Trey Lance, but it's Jaquiski Tart. It really is.
I want to hear that Jaquiski.
Jaquiski Mahafahan Tart.
That's legal on this show. I'll take that. Okay.
Remember that running back, Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala? You remember that guy?
There's a guy named Funk, by the way, now in the league.
Speaking of, there's 2 guys on the Colts. I saw a meme that said these 2 were destined to play together. One guy's last name is French. The other's last name is, I'm assuming it's Freeze, but it's spelled like fries. And they were standing next to each other, and it said French fries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these guys were destined to play next to each other because it said French fries. That's
funny. Drew Lock. Now, Sammy's for Drew Lock is DK always open. I don't know about that, but I dig it. What's your 3 words or less for Drew Lock?
No pressure situation. They have spent all offseason not bringing anybody in. No Jimmy G. I don't think Jimmy G is coming in this. Like I said, regardless of how bad San Francisco thinks Jimmy G is, they're not trading him to a division opponent because the guy wins football games. So for me, I think Geno Smith, come on, LOL, smiley face in that part. It's a no-pressure situation. You have the ability to take the reins on a second team. You're being handed the starting job, which for a lot of guys who were drafted, look at Baker Mayfield. He's not being handed the starting job, which he probably will get. But it's very rare that the guy who doesn't pan out in their first destination goes and gets that starting job. And like I said, I think Drew Lock is the starter from day one, regardless of what quarterback battle we've seen. So he's basically no pressure. If it doesn't work out for him, we aren't expecting it to. But if it does, he'd just be the next franchise quarterback trailing Russell Wilson, who, is now in Denver, who has to play in the tough division. This could end up looking like an awesome trade for the Seattle Seahawks if it pans out with Drew Lock. So for me, it's no pressure situation here with Drew Lock.
And P.S. Mine is just don't be bad or don't suck. Seahawks are going to be bad, but they're going to be atrocious this year. But I just want to see improvements. I think even the Seahawks just want to see improvements, like you said, to echo what you just said, is like, just don't be the reason they lose a bunch of games. Hang in there, be patient, just don't suck, okay? And you should be fine. You should buy yourself at least a quarterback battle next year at the bare minimum, if you're not terrible.
Okay.
So, yeah. Matt Stafford. For Sammy, it is legit MVP chance. I disagree. For you, it's what? 3 words or less for Matt Stafford.
Off your back. He's got the ring now. He's in LA. Life is good. I see a hangover here. Despite the fact that this team is very good, talent-wise on paper, I see a potential hangover.
Oh, I vehemently disagree with that, by the way, based on my predictions.
I mean, just talent-wise, they should be definitely in the thick of it. But, I mean, I don't think they're going like 15-2 or 14-3.
I didn't say that, but I vehemently disagree.
Okay, that's fair.
Run it back is mine. I still don't know if Stafford is a Hall of Famer, but the Rams are good enough to be in the mix, to be at least in the mix again. So run it back, Stat Padford. Stat Padford, show us how you play, man. When
Stat
the pressure's
Padford.
on. Stat
One of the
Padford.
best nicknames I've ever heard.
Agreed.
From one of the guys I like the least, ironically.
Same for me. Kyle Murray. Sammy's is good study habits, and that's just hysterical. I don't know which one's better, guard your moms or good study habits, because those are two impressive ones by you guys.
It's guard your moms. It's 100%.
I know. Mine for Kyle Murray is you got paid. After whining like a little brat, a little drama queen, you got what you wanted, man. Not just money. You got the Cardinals to say, nah, you ain't got to study. You ain't got to study. Just play football. We're good. So, you got paid. You got spoiled. What you got, Kyler? Because he's controlled this offseason narrative, and I hate it. I used to be a big fan of his. I'm walking that back a few steps. It's up to you now, buddy.
I'm here with Sammy, and I agree with it. My 3 words or less was watch more film.
Yeah.
Because if you don't come out successfully this season, which, again, if we're talking about Trey Lance and we're talking about Matt Stafford running it back, and don't sleep. If Drew Lock can actually unleash something from what I saw in college, this division, you could easily be 4th. No problem. You could easily be 4th in this division, no problem. And that's the crazy thing about this division is someone is going to underachieve just by finishing 3rd in this division.
Yes.
And it's crazy to think, that's going to happen. So for me, it's watch more film, because if you struggle this season, that is what the talking heads will discuss. That is what we will discuss. Is he watching enough film? They took it out of his contract, and now they can't seem to get him to do anything. Whether it's valid or not, we've got ammunition. Jamarcus Russell tapes.
Oof. Hey, when we come back, we got rookie quarterback grades. We're going to wrap it up next on AM Drive. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap, because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah, you want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Grow your brand with Popple at popl.co. Code AMDRIVE for 20% off your order. All right, Aaron, I love football because we just talk and talk and talk. Rookie grades from the preseason NFL debuts of 5 quarterbacks that I gave Aaron some homework to watch of. Desmond Ritter gets a what from you, Mr. Aaron?
Desmond Ritter, for me, gets an A minus. He was
Yeah.
the best. He got the best grade of all 5 quarterbacks that we
Whoa.
had here. He played the most, so I got to watch the majority of his tape. He had, I believe he played 3 quarters of football. So for me, I thought he remained calm in the pocket. He ran when it was appropriate to run. He stand tall. He's a big boy. I don't know if he just put on that weight in the off season here, but like he looks like he gained some muscle /
He
weight.
seems skinnier, in college. I agree.
Yeah, so I don't know if obviously that, they've had time between April and now to get him to that, but he looked confident. And again, this is preseason. I'm grading it on what I saw, not against all the other factors of, these are these are guys struggling to make teams, and these are, second, third string players. But I thought he really looked poised and confident, and that's going to matter carrying into starting defenses. So I gave him an A minus for me.
I think a B plus for me. He impressed me. He looked like, I know Marcus Mariota let him down the field for a touchdown, but let's be real. If it was up to the Falcons, if all heaven came to paradise, I believe that they would start Desmond Ritter week 1 if he looked amazing. So
if he looks like this against starters,
yeah,
he looks like this against starters, or even if he looks just slightly worse, he has to start week 1. He just does. Mariota makes no sense.
Mariota's a good quarterback. That's it. He's a good backup. Fantastic. Start Desmond Ritter. Sam Howell.
Yeah, let the kid go in and take his lumps. So, Sam Howell, for me, this was kind of an awesome game to watch because it was Washington versus Carolina, and Howell and Corral were on the field at the same time. For me, Sam Howell got a C+. The throwing was a little bit left to be desired, but he was great with the legs. The legs were, if I could just go on his running, it was an A. His legs were phenomenal. He ran for 2 touchdowns. He looked poised in the pocket. He went through this is a big thing, and I'll talk about this later. He went through his reads before running, which shows me the mark of a guy who wants to be a pocket presence quarterback. Yes, he did run. Yes, the throws weren't great, but that hopefully will come with time and confidence. So I gave Sam Howell a C+ for his preseason debut.
A minus.
Wow, that's impressive. I could have given him a lot higher of a grade. Just the throws, some of those throws, just absolutely terrible. And then he kind of made a bonehead move, late in the game where they had a free play. The defender jumped off sides and he threw it out of bounds. It's a free play. Even if you get picked, it's a free play. So either he was not aware, which you have to, obviously awareness is key, and Aaron Rodgers is the king of that, of the free play, or you weren't thinking and you just threw it out of bounds. You can never throw away a free play.
I dig it. I love how constructive you are through criticism. Like a C+, but he looked really good. I love it.
He did. The legs were fantastic. The throwing will come, but I have to grade it just on this. It's a C+. It's better than the average. He didn't win the game. He had a chance to win the game. Like Desmond Ritter drove his team down the field and won the game with no time left. So I liked that.
I'll tell you one of the things I like as well about Sam Howell. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Wow. That throw, that run to the end zone while he shakes the linebacker. If you look, when he's like 3 yards past the line of scrimmage, he already knows that. He just pump fakes him anyways. I swear that helps him juke the guy out.
Of course it does. Because a lot of
times
the defender is not quite under.
But you're not going to throw it anyways. He's already way past the line, but this guy doesn't know that yet.
Sometimes he might know it, and it still kind of throws him off,
I love it.
Sometimes the defender might know you've already passed the line, but still, when you stand up to throw it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Matt Corral.
Ugh. Matt Corral, for me, despite getting the win, his team getting the win, he took a D-. He was bad. He was bad. The running, he looked timid. He looked scared in the pocket to me. He was trying to throw balls with his left hand as he's going down, and that never goes well.
Ask me again. How do I know that?
How do you know what?
How do I know about throwing balls with the left hand and nothing good happening?
Oh, Carson Wentz. I see. Yeah. So again, there's a lot of room for improvement here. To me, but this was a bad debut, and I gave it just above a complete failure because they did win the game. He did drive his team down into field goal range, but yeah, this was pretty poor.
I gave him a C because of the offensive line collapsing every single time he dropped back. Plus, he was brutal. He made the coach for the Ole Miss Rebels look like a complete and utter genius. I forgot his name. What is it? Is it Lane Kiffin or who's the guy over there?
Yeah, it's Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, well, Lane Kiffin is Jesus Christ at the moment in football for me. Because Matt Corral was horrible. Kenny Pickett, 2 gloves.
So Kenny Pickett, to me, this one had to be taken with a grain of salt because the video that I was sent did not include. So based on the entire video, I wanted to give him an A. But he was very poised. He didn't take off like he did a lot at Pittsburgh.
Right.
His accuracy was really what impressed me the most, and his ability to stand in the pocket and hit guys like right in the chest. And I saw a lot of some of these screen plays where they were Matt Corral threw behind 2 screenplays. And again, I think he played second quarter, third quarter, Kenny did. So, I mean, we're talking about, second string guys is right about where he should be. So ultimately I gave him a B+ because I couldn't give him an A because I didn't see any of the incompletions. Incompletions could have been bad. They really could have. So this is a B+, which may have been an A had I gotten the full tape.
I gave him a B because he was good, but nothing was like, wow, in my opinion. I just thought that, I thought Kenny looked okay. I still want to see how Mike Tomlin develops a young quarterback. Malik Willis, and I'm going to let you go first because I'm about to just salivate.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I'll go ahead and go first. I gave Malik Willis a C. I just saw the thing that I saw was and I understand why he got benched. He was immediately ready to scramble the minute he took his 3 to 5 step drop. Immediately ready to scramble. The actual throws I saw where he stood in the pocket, he was incredible. He had an arm, he had accuracy, but 75% of the time he was ready to scramble before the play even developed. He didn't look through his reads. He didn't take the time to, maybe step in the pocket and take a hit. Now I know it's preseason. We don't want these guys to get hurt. But every time he was on the run, the throws were inaccurate. And that was the big thing. He was not an accurate quarterback 15 yards down the field and greater. And that was a big knock on him. And it showed in that first preseason game. The running ability is there. But like you said earlier in the show, all these guys can run. That's not a problem anymore. We know 70% of the guys in the league can take off with their feet if the play breaks down.
Chase Daniel did it.
Yeah. But for me, I think I'm even being generous with a C here.
A- for me.
That is, I want to hear this. I really do.
My thing with him, he was so good. Lamar Jackson found him after the game. That's all. That's what you need to know about this. Okay.
Stop. Lamar Jackson. He was not so good. Lamar Jackson found him. Lamar Jackson knows what it's like to slide down, although he only slid down to the end of the first. So he probably wanted to give him some words of encouragement. And plus, all these guys are friends now. They all grow up together. There's no rivalries anymore. These guys all in the AAUs and in the elite camps and all this stuff, and they all know each other. Don't tell me that Lamar Jackson thought he was so great he had to go seek him out because
that was really good, but just wow.
No, crap. That is pure crap. If he seeked him out because he was so good, then that is really telling of Lamar Jackson because that's a low bar.
I love Malik Willis. As a Colts fan, I am begging on both of my bad knees. Please start Ryan Tannehill. For the love of Christ and Pete, if you want your one-dimensional offense to just run yourself through another season and nobody can figure it out, please do that. Because Matt Ryan and the Colts are coming. Sound like I want 10 of 11. But
with Carson Wentz.
Please start Ryan Tannehill, please. I beg you. I will be celebrating all year long on this show. Oh my goodness. Let Malik Willis just take the year off. That's all I ask the Titans to do.
And he will. Ryan Tannehill will start this year. Do you want to play this game?
Yes.
You want to play this game again? Ryan Tannehill will be the starter this year.
No, I
Week
knew
one.
that. No, I knew. Yeah, because the fact that Mike Vrabel benched this dude shows you he's a classic coach who is going to have a ceiling, unfortunately, as a coach because he doesn't want a running quarterback. I understand you wanted to take progressions, but Malik Willis can take off and run for 40 yards. I know what
Okay.
I know what you and Vrabel are saying, but my big thing is Ryan Tannehill is a statue. He's inaccurate sometimes. Just go ahead. Keep your old 1980 style of football. Just be my guest.
He's inaccurate. Please tell me what his completion percentage was last year. Please.
63.
69.2.
Where was he throwing to?
He had better receivers last year. We'll see what happens this year. But my situation is he was top 15 in yards, top 15 in touchdowns, and he was 8th in QBR. Like, how are we throwing Ryan Tannehill to the curb? Stop. Just stop. Ryan
One of
Tannehill
my
will
biggest hot takes. I cannot wait to our division previews.
Maybe so. Well, we'll have to wrap it up here for today.
Yeah, please.
Super excited. Tomorrow is Top 5 Tuesday. Of course, we have our Major League Baseball rankings as we do every week. AFC West quarterbacks, 3 words or less. Obviously, that's a big division as well. So we've got some maybe some hot takes in that one with Herbert, Mahomes, Wilson, and Carr. And of course, tomorrow starts our top 15 NFL players. Super excited to make that list. You guys loved the NBA one, or maybe you hated it. I don't know. But tomorrow's show will be 15 through 11 of our top 15 NFL players. Are we doing all time, or are we doing just our era?
1985, like we did before.
I have 2 presents.
I want Joe
It'll be a
Namath
good
on your
one.
list.
No, but Joe Montana might be. So we'll see what happens
That's fair.
here.
Just don't put Tom Brady number 1.
All right, that's going to wrap it up here for today's show once again. Appreciate you guys and all the support. Make sure you continue supporting at MikeandAaronDrive.com. And, of course, follow us on Twitter and Facebook at AM Drive TV. And, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search AM Drive with Mike and Aaron. So, for Michael Carvelis, I am Aaron Crouch saying hasta la vista, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. But until then, make sure you
Drive safe.